Getting started, though, for some people is the hardest part. And it's something that they struggle with. And there's a very good friend of mine called Chris, and he planned his podcast for 12 months, which is far too long. You can really start your podcast a lot quicker than that. You can plan and plan and plan and plan and plan. My advice is to start. That's what I did. I do a podcast called the Puppy Podcast, which is about our two dogs, and we talk about them and the things that they get up to. And I just started it. I just started doing this podcast and learnt as I went along. So I just started recording it. The first episode of the Puppy Podcast is not very good. You can listen to it if you want. It's on the website, thepuppypodcast.com. Go to episode 1. I think it's about 12 minutes long. It's just me talking about the dogs. But just start. And that's the best way of learning. And I'm talking to the people who are wanting to do podcasts for themselves. We'll get into later kind of taking it to the next level, potentially making money off your podcast. Numbers is what a lot of people want to talk about. How many people are going to be listening? How many people are going to be downloading my podcast on a weekly basis? It all depends. And again, we can get more into the analysis and the insights in podcasting in the coming weeks. A lot of it depends on the marketing. It depends on your production standards. It depends on the people who are on the podcast, and it depends on the subject as well. The average listenership for a typical homemade podcast is, and this is just Mrs. Miggins sat in a living room talking about her baking for 20 minutes, half an hour every week, and putting it up on SoundCloud for her friends and family to listen to. The average is about 190 downloads an episode, which isn't great. So at the very beginning, don't expect, unless you've got a celebrity on your podcast, don't expect big numbers. It's going to take time to grow and to start to pick up an audience.